Cities are a powerful type of local government in Washington state. Citizens vote to create them, and cities and towns are authorized by law to provide a wider variety of services and facilities than any other type of local government, exercise broad regulatory power, and impose a wide variety of taxes. Cities are governed by two things: the Washington State Constitution, which was adopted in 1889 when the state entered the Union, and the Revised Code of Washington, or RCWs, otherwise known as state laws. Today, there are 281 cities and towns in Washington. They vary tremendously in size and complexity. Seattle is the largest with more than 680,000 residents, while the smallest is Krupp, with a population of less than 50 residents. More than half the cities have fewer than 5,000 people, and half of the state's population lives in the largest 15 cities. Each city was formed under one of 5 classes of government: Code City, First Class, Second Class, Town, or Unclassified. About 70% of cities operate under the Code City classification. This classification provides the broadest authority to make decisions and is also known as Home Rule. The class of government is important because it determines the state laws each city must follow. Cities and towns can change their classification as they grow in population if voters approve the change. A city's form of government dictates how its governing body is structured and operates. The roles and responsibilities of city management and elected officials vary depending upon the form of government, so it's important to understand which form your city uses. More than 80% of Washington cities have a mayor-council form of government, where both the mayor and council members are elected. The council-manager model is used less frequently. In this model, council members are elected as equals, and then the council members choose one of their own to be the mayor. There are a few exceptions, like Tacoma and Olympia, where voters choose the mayor directly. Generally, the council member who serves as mayor will vote as a council member and act as head of the city for ceremonial purposes. In this form of government, the council appoints a professional city manager to run things. The city's class and form of government create important differences when it comes to the power and authority of city officials. The main elected positions in cities and towns are council members and mayors, but state law allows for the election of other administrative officers such as clerk, treasurer, attorney, and police chief or marshal. Most city councils have 5 or 7 members, and together they hold the legislative powers. Their primary job is to make policy. After the council creates and adopts city policy, it is the mayor or city manager's job as the chief administrator to carry them out. Whether elected or appointed, city leaders should work together in the best interest of the residents they serve. So let's talk about money. All cities and towns operate under a budget, and public participation is critical in making sure the budget reflects the needs and desires of its residents. In fact, city governments are required by law to use the public hearing process when adopting the budget. The council formally adopts an initial budget, but if priorities change during the year, revisions can be made. The mayor or city manager carries out the budget priorities, and council members monitor progress based on reports from staff. Revenues come from a variety of sources, with most coming from property, sales, or business and occupations taxes. Other revenue sources include state programs and grants, federal programs, charges for goods and services like utilities, and voter-approved bonds and levies. Cities may also borrow money in the form of banknotes or lines of credit. A city uses these revenues to provide public services like prosecutors, judges, and courts, firefighters, police officers and paramedics, bus service and street repairs, sewage treatment and collection, parks and recreation programs, reliable electricity and clean water, building permits and inspections, and many more like libraries, cemeteries, animal control, historic preservation, low-income housing, and flood control, just to name a few. You don't have to be an elected official or city employee to get involved. Most cities have many opportunities to volunteer, like becoming the member of an advisory board or committee. And anyone can attend a city council meeting. In fact, the Washington Open Public Meetings Act, or OPMA, requires that all meetings of a city's governing body be open to the public. The OPMA has specific provisions about regular and special meetings, executive sessions, the type of notice that must be given for meetings, the conduct of meetings, and the penalties and remedies for violating the Act. Cities and towns in the state of Washington are as varied as the snow-capped Cascade Mountains, the forests, plateaus, fertile farmland, and Columbia River Gorge that make up its geography. How much do you know about the city where you live? Do you review the actions and decisions the City Council makes on your behalf by reading meeting minutes? Have you ever looked at your city's financial statements or audit reports to see how your tax dollars are spent? We hope this quick overview has given you an appetite to learn more about your city or town. Many additional resources are available. If you're interested, go to your city's website or to the AWC, MRSC, or SAO websites. You might be especially interested in your city's audit reports on our SAO website. Any burning questions we didn't cover? We would love to entertain your questions and share additional resources with you. Drop us a line at center@sao.wa.gov. Hope to hear from you soon.